wake up and you're 10 games under, there's 10 days in that stretch, you know, there's presumably, I mean, you have a lot of time to turn things around for yourself, even turning the page from one night to the next, which is obviously something we talk a lot about, and what these guys really have embodied is understanding that the next day is whatever you make it to be. So if you have a tough loss or a great win, you still got to come out with that same effort and energy the next day and a positive attitude, and I think that's what they've done a really good job of.
Speaking of turning the page, Bobby Witt Jr. 2 nights ago doesn't make a play on defense. It ended up being big and a loss. Steps up with a home run last night.
In a huge spot, you know, I mean, against the guy he's never faced before, funky arm slot, good sweeper, you know, and Bobby was ready to hit. That's a tough part of the park to hit a home run to also, but his mindset of doing whatever he can to help us win, you know, even last night he hits into a double play and then gets out on the first pitch. Another time, you know, he's not happy about the way his game's going, but he was ready in the right time.
The pitch, I'm glad you brought up the pitch because it reminded me with the Twins in town, the pitch that he hit with the walk-off grand slam against Durant. I mean, he hits the home run and then you watch the replay and you say that's not a pitch that a guy should be hitting out of the ballpark.
Yeah, and I mean, to what extent you can, he stayed on top of that ball. You know, I mean, you see a lot of pitches in that part of the zone where he fouls him back. And for whatever reason, he was able to get that top hand through and stay on top of it enough. Yeah, the ball was high in the air. You know, you need strength and power like he has to hit it that way, but thankfully for us, it went.
Let's stay on the turning the page theme with Noah Cameron, who gives up. He's 1 strike away from a 1-2-3 first inning. He ends up giving up 3 runs on a home run, and then he really turned the page.
Yeah, I think even more than that, I think he was 1 strike away on 3 hitters to get out of the first inning, and none of them worked out, you know. And even after the homer, I believe there was another base runner before he retired, the last hitter in the first. So there was a lot of fortitude there from his standpoint to make it through that inning, and then to come out and go 4 more scoreless was huge, you know, for us and for the bullpen. But even in that first inning, his stuff was good. He just missed locations a couple times, but that's why he was able to continue to get those guys out for 4 more innings.
Among the 4 solo home runs was Adam Frazier's 1,000th career hit. Did you have any idea that he would have this kind of an impact when he came back to Kansas City in the trade?
You hope, you know, but how do you know? You know, you just never know how this game works out, but he has had a huge impact on and off the field, and it's great, you know, a milestone like that. That's, you know, to the casual fan, you say 1,000, oh, it's not 3,000 or whatever. That's a lot of hits, and, you know, it's playing a long time in the major leagues to accomplish something like that, and there's been plenty of really good players that have not gotten to 1,000 hits, so I'm really happy for him.
Another milestone for Salvi. He hit one of the 4 solo home runs, and that makes him 3rd all-time in Royals history with extra base hits, breaking a tie with Frank White. And I've had the privilege of seeing his entire career. I don't think his enthusiasm, and I mean this sincerely, I don't think his enthusiasm for the game and doing things to help his team win has changed since he made his big league debut.
Well, I've seen 3 years of it. You know, the first year here with the 106 losses, it didn't change that year. So I would imagine if he was as consistent that year as you've seen him in the past and what he's doing now, I would agree that what I've seen hasn't changed. And I think he's energized a little bit by this trying to stay in the race here and playing in the playoffs last year. So we just want to get Salvi where he belongs, you know, on that big stage in the postseason, and he's doing everything he can.
Q, one of the things I like to look at with the new series, and it's more for the other team, on the pitching side, what's their team ERA, where do they rank in the league, and then I try and break it down to starters and relievers. What's their starters rank, their bullpen rank, and all season long, your starting rotation basically has been 2nd in the league to the Texas Rangers. Today, they're 3rd. The Yankees are 2nd now, but suddenly the bullpen is 2nd in the league in ERA this year. And you and I spent a lot of time talking about how much the offense has picked up in the second half, and how about your bullpen?
Well, I mean, that speaks volumes to what the whole staff does. I mean, you need all 26 and plenty more to go through this year, to go through any season, but for the bullpen to be rising to that level of excellence is huge, because now you're talking about 13, now 14 pitchers that are all pulling their weight to put us in the best position to win, you know, and Brian and the staff do a great job with those guys, and the messaging and the plan of attack and their pitch usage and all that kind of stuff. And like you said, the hitting has come around as well, so there's a reason we're able to hang in this race and make it interesting.
Okay, every now and then I'll say, all right, take your manager's hat off and put your hitting coach's hat on. Pablo Lopez is pitching for the Twins. He's been tough on the Royals his entire career. He's also coming off the injured list, and he's been out for 3 months. Is this just a preparing for Pablo Lopez tonight, or is there an addendum to it that says, and he hasn't pitched in the big leagues for 3 months?
Well, I mean, that's true. Obviously, he hasn't, but you can see his rehab starts.
Yeah,
You don't know how he felt in those games or what the adrenaline level was or all those
Kickoff
kinds of things.
start.
But we have to prepare for the best version of Pablo and do the best we can to try to beat him. Now, as you said, he's been tough on us, but we have a different group of guys here now as well.
All right, Chief, thank you. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
That's Royals manager Matt Quatrero, and we'll have more from Kauffman Stadium after this.
Hi, this is Royals manager Matt Quatrero. My family and I had always considered a road trip in an RV, but it was because of the great people at Trailside RV Center in Green Valley that it became a reality. It was our first time in an RV, and Steve, Brian, and Michael at Trailside RV Center went far above and beyond to make my family's vacation one that we will never forget. If you're considering an RV or need parts or service, visit Trailside RV Center in Green Valley or at trailsiderv.com.
Society says, pay $7 for a fancy coffee. Sonic says, nah, how about $2.99 salted caramel toffee iced coffee with cold foam, salted caramel drizzle, and crunchy toffee pieces. That's Pinky's Up Fancy, fine china fancy, and grand piano in your living room fancy for just $2.99. Sonic salted caramel toffee iced coffee for just $2.99. It's the fancy without the pricey.
That's not included. Exclusions apply for a limited time only at participating Sonic drive-ins.
Price Chopper is proud to call Kansas City home. Like everyone here, we know we've got the best barbecue. But we're also pretty good at pasta, tacos, and even beer. We love our sports. We love our city. And we love supporting each other. There's a lot to love about Kansas City. And at Price Chopper, we love serving you. Thank you, Kansas City, for always having a place for us at your table.
I'm Chip with MVP Air Conditioning, Heating, Plumbing, and Electric. And this September, we're celebrating 20 years serving Kansas City. To say thank you, we're offering an incredible deal. Get an AC tune-up, heating tune-up, free a drain opening for just $20 each. That's right, only $20. Don't miss out on this limited time anniversary offer. Call your hometown MVP today or visit themvpkc.com to schedule. That's the mvpkc.com.
Suit up this season at MLBshop.com. Check out the largest selection of authentic jerseys, caps, hoodies, t-shirts, and more. Visit MLBshop.com, the official source for Royals gear. The Royals and the Twins opening a 3-game series. And when we come back, you heard Q talking with Ryan moments ago about Adam Frazier. 1,000 hits as a big leaguer. We'll talk to Adam about last night, about his career, and a lot of things, actually, with this veteran Frazier when we continue in a moment on the Royals Baseball Network.
If you build it, they will come. And hopefully so will their family, friends, and neighbors. Rogers Pharmacy, our business has been built one customer at a time, serving multiple generations through the years. Like the movie Field of Dreams, family is the essence of who we are and how we approach our mission to serve you. Baseball and pharmacy don't typically intertwine. Other than that, we are your local pharmacy supporting the Royals of our local team. Rogers Pharmacy, keeping the ball in play since 1967.
Where do my friends and other students find their voice? We find our voice through the performing arts, along with millions of other high school students. By expressing yourself in a role on stage, through an instrument, or at the debate podium, the performing arts give us freedom to find ourselves, to find our place. The stage is where I can play, perform, and compete with my friends.
Performing arts in your school is where creativity meets courage. Encourage the students in your life to find their voice through the performing arts. This message presented by the NFHS, where we encourage all students to play, perform, and compete together.
We gather together in communities across the nation to remember and honor, to celebrate and support, to light the night. Join us as we lift our lanterns high. Join us. We are the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. And when we walk, cancer runs. Join us as we light the night. Find your local event at lightthenight.org.
KFEQ. Welcome back to the pregame show. It's the Royals and the Twins game one. Steve Stewart joined by Adam Frazier, who last night hit a big home run because every run was needed to get that win last night. And Adam, in your case, your home run, the first run of the game, was your 1,000th hit. Thanks for joining us. Congratulations for that.
Thank you.
And we appreciate you being with us. I'm curious because you've been around. It was 2016 when you first came up, June of 16 when you got your first hit, a single up the middle. Now, 9 years later, a home run for number 1,000. Back then, you were probably getting a million texts when you got called up and a million texts when you got your first hit. What's it like now as a veteran who's been around forever when you do something significant like that, but you've also been in the big leagues a long time?
Yeah, there's still a bit of congratulatory text. Not as much as that debut first hit, but yeah, there's still a lot of friends and family reached out, so that was fun. Cool to hear from certain folks, and it's special. So it's to look back and say he's got 1,000 of them. It's pretty cool.
You're the 58th active player with 1,000 hits, but only the 15th active left-handed batter.
Wow, I mean that's crazy. I think somebody said there's only like 1,400 or 1,300 ever to do it. That kind of put things in perspective for me last night.
We're talking to Adam Frazier, hit number 1,000 last night. You're the fourth Royal with a 1,000th hit that went for a home run. Kendrys Morales, Jeff Francoeur, and Royals Hall of Famer Frank White.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you start dropping names like that, and you put things in perspective pretty fast.
Tell me about the difference between the Adam Frazier that got that first hit in 2016 and the Adam Frazier now who's 33, who's been in this game and seen it all, and how the game might be a little different for you now.
Definitely moving a little slower than it was when I first started.